you talked about like online, offline, and
Yeah.
yeah. So for online, it must be being the only contestant, I assume, in the IPSC finals to do it online. Well, not only finals, right? Even the heats. You must be like the
Yeah,
only.
I think no, I think everyone had it online because the whole
Everyone had it.
competition was moved online
Oh, really?
for fairness, basically.
I see.
Yeah, but the online competition is, of course, very different from the offline ones. And there are certain tips I think that online contestants need to pay attention to. So I think first, it's a lot harder to attract the judge's attention, your audience attention when you're online. So it's important that you like put a little extra drama to the speech. Be a little more dramatic, be a little more expressive. So I was quite concerned at the beginning because I'm not a dramatic person.
Right.
I do not do like my gestures are not that dramatic or expressive during a speech. So I kind of sacrificed or like exchanged a part of my soul for like for this competition because this is really not my style, but I have to stand out. So so yeah, I try to be a little more dramatic in that speech. Maybe you can see that if you've seen the video. It's not really my style. Um, but yeah, it's a really important tip anyways. And secondly, I think the judges will find it a little easier to drift off if you're listening to an online speech. If you're offline, you have that ambience, you have that attraction from the stage, so the judges won't be that easy to get bored. Whereas when you're doing like when you're giving a speech online, you have to maintain a clear, like a steady pace, and you have to make sure that your speech is clear enough so that the judges will figure out they will follow your pace. They will know what you're talking about. It is an advice that one of the judges gave me in one of the sessions, not specifically to me, but to everyone in that session about how to use, for example, signpost languages, how to slow down a little, just to use all of these tricks, all of these little things in an online speech to make your speech clear enough so that the judges don't drift off.
Right, that could be something I could keep in mind, I suppose, seeing as I failed to even advance to the next round, being the only online contestant. About language and content, like the importance between the two, which would you say
Right.
is more important?
Definitely content, because well, take me as an example. In that IPSC competition, a lot of the competitors come from English speaking countries like Australia, the UK, USA, etc. And a lot of other contestants come from international schools. So there was this Japanese girl who had been living abroad for like more than 10 years. And there was this Korean girl who had been to, like, she goes to international school for like more than 10 years. So their language proficiency was a lot better than me. I think it's safe to say that I am amongst those speakers, like the worst English speakers in that in that competition. And that I'm not joking, that's true, because a lot of them really had like excellent language proficiency. Their precision of choosing the words, their vocabulary, the diversity of their expression, it was marvelous. So I was a little nervous at first because we had this kind of like ice-breaking activities in the first couple of days. And I came to know how good they are when they're speaking English. And I was a little nervous. I was a little concerned at first. But then I was also confident about what I'm talking about my content, because it was really what I want to talk about. It was the story, it was the topic that I want people to know. So I was confident about the content of my speech. And I think that is really all that matters in a speech contest.
Yeah, I remember Paul Fedek from listening to your speech nearly 3 times.
Yes.
Yeah, and a few other people. Yeah, so definitely has made an impact on myself. Well, yeah, let's go back to more of your like time management. Well, like you told me, you're the type of person who needs to fill up your schedule, and that your schedules were once like, you know, from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., you know, whole day is like task after task.
Yeah,
so
sort of packed. Yeah,
really packed. Yeah, so you must have some sort of strategies for managing time then, I suppose.
Well, I am a huge fan of to-do lists and schedules. I probably won't even stick to them that seriously, but I need them to make myself feel like reassured that my time, that my whole day is planned, that it is according to like a certain schedule, that everything is working in the way that I expect them to. That's really important. And if anything unexpected occurs, I would just like alternate my schedule to fit them in. So it's always about making a schedule and sticking to that. I know that this is not a universal suggestion because a lot of people hate schedules. A lot of people like to just do random things spontaneously. But I find that working pretty well for me, and I'm really comfortable with that. So that's my personal trick. It's my personal strategy, as you call it.
Do we ever get to see Caroline like entertain herself? Like you're doing violin, you're a figure skater, you're doing medicine, and then you're doing all these competitions. So like, how do you fit in? Like, is there any time for relaxation or like?
Yeah, of course there are time for relaxation. I think I would call myself a lazy person, sort of, in sometimes. And of course, those hobbies that you mentioned, playing the violin and figure skating, those are the time for more relaxation. And I would take time to watch videos for like these skills. Like I would watch the videos of violin players or figure skaters or people who teach the skills for these different things. And of course, medicine videos as well, and public speaking videos as well. So I think watching these videos itself is a relaxation, and participating in the hobbies itself is a relaxation. I am basically having a kind of like a diverse life. I'm not just focusing on one field. Like I'm basically trying to explore more fields. So distracting myself to do more things, to do like different jobs. This is basically a way for myself to relax.
It doesn't make you more stressed, I suppose.
No, I'm stress motivated.
Well, talking about stress, I suppose medical students being one of the hardest subjects in whatever university you are in. I mean, in Fudan as well, especially. Yeah, is there any advice for, you know, aspiring medical students, or basically your younger self?
Right. Well, I think for the medical students or for my younger self, I would say if you want to pursue this path, this journey of medicine, it's important that you find your own passion, that you're really passionate about this. And this is basically one of the strongest motivation for you to keep pursuing this journey, because a lot of the professors in the medical school told us that they've seen a lot of medical students signing in for the medical school, or like basically starting to pursue this journey for multiple reasons. Someone just want to contribute to the society, and someone just think that doctor is well paid and this is a cool job. But none of these reasons, or say none of these wishes, finally compete to the true and sincere passion about this journey, because this is, as you mentioned, a really stressed subject, and this would no doubt be a very long and tough journey. So what really helps us, what really supports us to stick to this, would eventually be our true passion. So for those medical students, or those who want to be medical students in the future, it's important that they really find their passion in this subject, and this is eventually what support them to go to keep pursuing this journey, and this is what's most important. And I think the second suggestion would be just to study hard. Not as in any other subject studying hard, not as in the high school style studying hard, because I find this whole, let's say, the building of medical knowledge, building from a foundation. You need a solid foundation. So when you're learning all those medical courses like anatomy or molecular biology, it's important that you actually understand those mechanisms instead of just learning them to cope for the tests, because you're trying to collect the building blocks for the eventual building. So it's important for us to basically build this solid foundation so that whatever comes after this, whatever we need to receive in the future as a doctor, would not collapse. It's important to always study hard, because whatever we're learning matters for us, for ourselves, and for our future patients.
Right, you heard it first. So I think just recommendations in terms of whatever. Is there anything like a book or film or whatever video creator you just want to plug?
I think it depends on what group of people our audience are.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, I think there are two. I think I can call them YouTubers, but they also have their own channel on Bilibili. I think there is a creator called Chubby Emu. I'm not sure how to pronounce his ID name, but he is this content creator who creates content videos about medical knowledge, medical cases, clinical medical cases, and that's really interesting. A lot of my non-medical friends, they told me that they've learned a lot, and they find these clinical cases really interesting and sort of inspiring for them. And it's really interesting for medical students as well to see how this person, as a doctor, would basically unveil the secrets of the symptoms shown in clinical cases. It's sort of like being a detective, but the doctor version of a detective. And his contents, I would say, are really interesting and inspiring. And then there's also Tusa Violin.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're also a fan of them.
Yep.
As you said, I am a violin player, and I think I can call myself a classical music lover. So their content are really inspiring as well to me, and to any people who want to start to listen to classic music but are sort of clueless. They're creating contents that are interesting, entertaining, and educational at the same time. So I think that's really meaningful to watch and really fun to watch as well.
All right, that is actually almost a wrap. One final question, actually, from myself to you, and just answer me honestly. You remember that the one time we teamed up at the Fudan English Debating Society?
Yes.
Yeah. Give me a rating, as your teammate, from 1 to 5, where 5 refers to you'd rather help me do my part, you'd rather impromptu my part as well and not have me speak, and where 1 means you want to disown me as a teammate and you'd rather have him, you'd rather call him a teammate.
Well, From 1 to 5, you're giving me no choice. Basically, all of these are negative comments. Okay, so honestly, I'm not gonna rate this because you're not giving me a choice. Basically, I'm just going to give you some comments. I think you did pretty well. Really, really. We're probably not like the best teammates. Like speaking of the teammates, because we need to like cooperate a lot and practice a lot in order to know what each other's styles are about. So we're probably not the best teammates, but I think you're a pretty good debater, because I think some of your style, for example, you really like to tell examples and stories in your constructive speech. For certain positions, like for maybe for the whip, for the government whip or the opposition whip, it probably is a waste of time. But if you're a PM or if you're a deputy, like the leader of opposition, and if you're trying to clarify your point, that really works. That really works well. So I think I'm actually learning a lot from you as well. And you're a pretty good debater. Don't lose confidence.
Right. I'm gonna just take in this moment. You can see how nice Caroline is. She just couldn't resist, just going into that teacher mode, just passing on some of that knowledge to this guy's sorry excuse for a human being. But yeah, I think that's actually it. And I will forever be able to say, if I ever have grandkids, that I once debated alongside, Miss Public Speaking Queen herself. So that's it actually. And thank you very much for coming here today to share.
Thank you for having me.
Share with us. And that's it for this one. If you like it, drop it a like, comment. I don't even know how to do this anymore. It's been months since I've done an ending, an outro.
Yeah, like it and subscribe. Yeah.
Like, subscribe, 一键3连, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, guys, peace. I was a terrible host.
You were great. You were fine. Just do not lose confidence.
You know why the questions, they could have been much worse, but you know why they're at least like this? There's one person who helped me out, in the behind the scenes, right? Basically my sister. She helped me, I was going through these questions, I was like, Caroline is like this sort of person, or we went through this whole set of questions. And she's brainstorming all sorts of scenarios. What if she says this? You can't be that rude. The questions can't be like this. But yeah. So,
it was great. It was great.
I don't know. This host thing still got tons to work towards being a proper host. Cause I know you could speak. So my sister was telling me, don't worry, even if you screw out, Caroline would speak. She'd have tons to deliver. Even if you're crap, it's fine. Well, you were a natural. You are a natural.
No.
Or you did 40 hours of practice every day. So that's why
I practice for 40 hours every day. Yes.
Yep, that's true. You heard it first.